Hey there, and welcome to The Explainer. I am so thrilled to have you joining us today. If you currently own a home in Mississippi, or, maybe you're planning to buy one soon, you are absolutely in the right place. Our goal today is pretty simple but incredibly powerful. We're going to completely master the Mississippi Homestead Exemption process. By the time we wrap this up, you'll know exactly how to navigate this bureaucratic system, protect your major assets, and keep more of your hard-earned cash right where it belongs, in your pocket.
Let's kick things off with a number that should grab your attention immediately: 75 grand. Under Mississippi law, a homestead exemption can actually shield up to $75,000 of your home's equity, along with up to 160 acres of land, from being forced into a sale by creditors to satisfy debts. We're talking bankruptcy claims, civil judgments, the whole shebang. Just imagine the immense financial security and peace of mind that comes with knowing a massive chunk of your primary asset is legally untouchable.
Okay, let's dive into this, because knowing this law exists is really only half the battle, right? How do you actually go about claiming these fantastic financial benefits and make sure you aren't just leaving money on the table year after year? Well, it all comes down to understanding the specific rules and taking a few very straightforward administrative steps.
So here's our ultimate roadmap for today. We'll cover 1. Exemption basics, 2. Eligibility rules, 3. The step-by-step process, 4. Special rules and variations, 5. Avoiding mistakes, and finally, 6. Next steps and a quick disclaimer. Don't worry, this system is actually highly organized and super easy to master once you see the big picture. All right, starting with Section 1, Exemption Basics. We're looking at the dual nature of this law.
The absolute first thing to wrap your head around is that Mississippi is actually handing you two completely separate benefits here. It's kind of like a two-for-one deal, but they work quite differently. On one side, you have the Creditor Protection Exemption. This is the shield that protects up to $75,000 of your equity, and the great thing is, this protection is essentially automatic just by owning and living in the home. But on the flip side, we have the Property Tax Exemption. This one requires you to put in some proactive effort. You have to actively submit an application to get that tax bill reduced.
So you might be wondering, what exactly is this property tax exemption reducing? It targets what the state calls ad valorem taxes. Basically, these are just the annual taxes you owe that are based strictly on the assessed value of your primary residence. When you get this exemption approved, you are directly shrinking that specific yearly tax burden.
For most folks qualifying in Mississippi, this means a direct dollar-for-dollar credit reduction off your property tax bill. Depending on how your property is valued, this credit can max out at $300 every single year. To put that into perspective, over the lifetime of a standard 30-year mortgage, we're talking about keeping nearly $10,000 just for filling out a fairly simple form.
Let's move on to Section 2, Eligibility Rules. Who actually qualifies for the exemption?
First up, let's look at the property itself. Qualifying properties definitely include your standard single-family homes and the land they sit on, as well as condominiums. It even covers dwellings leased for 10 years or more from a fraternal or benevolent organization or properties held as a life estate. But here's a really crucial catch. The courts require you to have an actual ownership interest in the land. So if you want a mobile home but it's parked on land you rent or don't own, unfortunately, that setup does not qualify.
Beyond just the type of property, there's a super strict timeline attached to when you live there. You must be a bona fide resident of Mississippi, and this is absolutely crucial. You have to be occupying that property as your primary home as of January 1st of the year you're applying. Meaning, if you close on a house and move in on January 2nd, you've sadly missed the cutoff for that entire tax year.
And this brilliantly illustrates one of the best provisions in the entire law. For our U.S. military veterans who are designated as 100% service-connected disabled, the benefit here is just massive. Qualifying veterans are completely fully exempt from paying any ad valorem taxes on their homestead property, totally regardless of what the property is valued at.
All right, into the practical stuff. Section 3, the step-by-step process. Let's talk about how to actually file your application. Before you go marching down to any office, you gotta gather your paperwork. Think of this as your essential mandatory checklist. You'll need your recorded warranty deed to prove you own the place. You need social security numbers for yourself, your spouse, and any co-owners. Grab your settlement statement showing the full purchase price of the home. You're also going to need the license plate tag numbers for every vehicle in your possession, plus your valid Mississippi driver's license to prove your identity and residency. Oh, and if you're claiming extra exemptions for age or disability, make sure you bring that official proof with you, like a VA summary of benefits letter.
So, once you've wrangled all those documents, the actual physical steps are a total breeze. Step 1 is just gathering that paper stack we just talked about. Step 2, you head down in person to your local county tax assessor's office. If it's your first time applying, you generally have to show up yourself, or you have to authorize an agent or attorney in writing to go for you. Step 3 is the formal part. You submit the application form and swear under oath that all your info is 100% accurate.
Now listen up, because the timing of this is totally non-negotiable. January 1st is the day your residency must be established, and it's also the exact day the application window officially opens. You then have a very specific, finite window to file, between January 1st and April 1st. April 1st is the strict, hard, final deadline. You absolutely must get this done within those 3 months.
Section 4, Special Rules and Variations. Time to look at co-ownership and some quirky county exceptions.
A super common question we see is about co-ownership. Say a 70-year-old parent co-owns a house with their 40-year-old child. Do they lose the senior benefits? The great news is, no. Co-owned properties definitely still qualify for those senior or disability perks as long as at least one qualifying owner, so someone 65 or older or totally disabled, actually lives in the home as their primary residence.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is a highly specific localized variation that pops up exclusively in Lee County, Mississippi. Down in Lee County, if your dwelling is sitting on land owned by a corporation that's been incorporated for over 40 years, you're actually exempt from some of the normal land ownership rules, provided the head of the household is a shareholder in that corporation. It's a wildly specific carve-out.
Moving right along to Section 5, Avoiding Mistakes. Basically, how not to lose your exemption.
The absolute biggest, most painful mistake you can make is missing that April 1st deadline. If you sleep on that window, the exemption just does not apply to you for that tax year. Period. The tax assessor's office literally has no wiggle room here. They do not accept late applications, and they will not backdate them for you. If you stroll in on April 2nd, you are paying full price for your taxes that year. Please file early. Give yourself time to hunt down any missing paperwork if you need to.
The second biggest pitfall is forgetting to refile when your life changes. Usually, once you're approved, this exemption just rolls over automatically, year to year. But actually scratch that. There are specific times you absolutely must go back and refile. If you change your residence, get married, divorced, or legally separated, or if a spouse passes away, you have to tell them. Also, if you turn 65 or become a 100% disabled veteran, you want to refile anyway to lock in those increased benefits.
And finally, Section 6, Next Steps, and our quick disclaimer. Time to take some action.
So, are you ready to secure your property and lower that tax bill this year? The biggest takeaway today is that these benefits exist, but they require you to take action. Grab a folder right now, start printing out your warranty deed, go write down your vehicle tag numbers, and definitely check your calendar. If we are currently sitting anywhere between January 1st and April 1st, I strongly encourage you to call your local county tax assessor's office today to get customized guidance and set up a time to go file.
Just a quick professional note to wrap us up. While everything we've walked through today comes straight from official state guidelines and legal standards, you know how it is. Laws and bureaucratic red tape can and do change. Always verify these specific details directly with your local county tax assessor or a trusted real estate attorney to make sure you've got the most up-to-date facts for your personal situation. Look, we've just shown you how a couple of hours in a simple form can literally save you thousands of dollars over the time you own your home. So the only question left for you is, are you going to let bureaucracy keep your money, or are you going to go claim what's rightfully yours?